This is part 2 of the Scrappy Granny Square crochet pattern. We're going to look at the decreasing squares that we use to bring the sleeves in down at the bottom. Here is a sleeve that I have done, and as you can see it comes in, this is the normal width here, from here down to here. So what we do is we make some decreasing squares. The coloured squares are all decreased. Okay, so if you can see, they're wider here and decreased here, wider here and decreased here. And so we will need 8 for each sleeve, so 16 in all. However, when we decrease the coloured one here, we need to do a different type of base colour decreasing below before we join this, because this needs to be more like a rectangle than a square. So they're type A squares and type B squares. Coloured ones are type A squares, and as I say, we need about 16 of those, and then we will do the 8 base colour squares in a rectangle when we get to this point, and we're joining these up. So the first round is just the same as you would do for your coloured squares. So this is row 2. I've just done row 1, and I've turned and flipped the square, and I've done the standing treble. So I'm going to do row 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep these 3 sides the same and just decrease this one opposite where you start and finish. So the first part is just, first 2 sides are just the same. So that's 1 treble into the stitch, and then work your corner as usual, which is 2 trebles, 2 chain and 2 trebles, and then as usual just work 1 treble into each of the 3 stitches on round 1 along this side. Missed that one. In the corner again, 2 trebles, 2 chain and 2 trebles. So we've started along here, we've gone up the first side, and we've completed our second corner, and this is where we do our treble 3 together to decrease this side. So just to do a treble 3 together, you do yarn over, in through the stitch, grab the yarn, bring it back through the stitch and bring it through 2, and this is where you stop. You don't bring it through the last 2 loops, and we're going to do that 2 more times. So yarn over, in through the stitch, grab the yarn, bring it through the stitch, yarn over, bring it through 2. We've now got 3 loops in our hook, and a third time, yarn over, in through the stitch, grab the yarn, bring it out through the stitch, bring it through 2, and now we've got 4 loops in our hook. So now what we'll want to do is bring those 3 stitches into one by yarn over and pull through all together. Keep that quite tight there, and then we just finish the row this side of the square by doing another corner. Oops. This side is just the same as the basic squares. Last corner. Last stitch before we join. Slip stitch to join, and then doesn't look much different at the minute, but when you come around and do the next row, it kind of brings it in another wee bit. But you can see a little bit that it's pulled in at this end. So now we flip the square as usual. And do our standing treble or chain, depending on what you're comfortable with. The standing treble is really just one double crochet on top of the other double crochet. So just going to get right round to this corner and then I'll show you the difference along this corner, because everything is the same except for this row here. So now I'm back round at the opposite side again. Just worked as normal from your other basic coloured squares right round to the second, having completed the second corner. And this time, instead of having 7 stitches to work into here, we only have 5, because we've got the 2 from the corners on either side, and then that's the 3 together. So that's just 1 stitch in the middle. So we just do 1 into each of the corner ones, come to the middle one, 1 stitch in there, and that's where it gets pulled in again really, and then 1 into each of the other corner ones, and then your corner as usual, and finish off as usual right round to the end. So I've finished that off and woven in the ends, and now you can see that this is a decreasing square with the normal edge at this side and the decreased edge at this side. So what I tend to do is keep them together with either a wee bit of wool or a stitch marker, and I put the end that is decreased up there, so that when I come to put them together, I know which direction they should be, because obviously they should all be facing down. So if we just come back to the finished one, that's what we need to do for this one, this one, this one, this one, and the same on the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to show you that if you have a decreased one here, how you would do the base square underneath. So I have started this square again as usual. So I've done my standing treble, and this time we're going to decrease on these 2 sides. So standing treble in the second row, we've flipped, and we're ready to go. So we just work up and complete the first corner as per the basic square. And now we're going to do our 3 trebles together. We're going to decrease on this side and the opposite side as well to make a rectangle shape. So 1 treble, don't do the last pull through. 2 trebles, don't do the last pull through. 3 trebles, don't do the last pull through. We've got 4 loops on our hook, and we pull it right through nice and neatly to keep that tight. Then do our corner as usual. This side, the one opposite where you started, is just as per the basic square. So you're going into each of the 3 stitches. Corner as usual. And you're going to decrease on this side again. 1, 2, 3 trebles with the last pull through not completed. Yarn over through all 4, keeping it nice and neat. And do your corner. And finish off the round as you would normally. So now I hope you can see that what we have here is, still looks like a square, but that's because really it's the next row when you only put 1 stitch into either side here, that it fully pulls it in. I'm going to flip over. Do my standing treble. And this is our final row. So these 2 rows are the same as the basic square, and these 2 are your decreased ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, and into your corner. And on this side we have the 2 from the corner in the row below, row number 2, and then this is our 3 together, and there's just 1 stitch there. So you're just going under that wee V at the top. If you're wondering, like, where do you go in there? Just under the V at the top, and finish off with your 2 corners from the row below. Corner as usual. This row has got 7 stitches. Now we're coming round to corner number 3. Which again is our decrease side. So opposite this decrease side, we decrease again. So we do the 2 from the corner below, the 1 from the treble 3 together, and the 2 from the corner below. Last corner. And finish off. And this time when I slip stitch, I like to kind of try and make it a little bit neater and bring it through like that. And that is our square done. And now you can see that it's much more, just pull that out a wee bit. It's much more rectangular in shape, and that means that when we have one of our square A type B's on the penultimate row of our sleeves, then we have this one to join together, and we would then have the narrowing ones on either side of it, like that. So this is all coming in together. I'll just show you that again on a finished sleeve. So you can see from here, it goes into here, goes in a bit further, and then I've completed linen stitch along here, and that brings it in yet again, just naturally, because the linen stitch tends to be narrower because a chain is not quite as wide as a stitch, and that brings it in a wee bit more. But if you wanted to, you could actually put a bit of crochet rib on here, either front and back post or slip stitch rib, whatever you felt you wanted, and that would bring it in even further. But just remember when you're measuring the length of your sleeve and stuff that you want to do that. So hope that makes sense, and I'll see you in the next video.